So Shehu's main issue was high mortality rate among developing fish. The factors include fungal infection, which is caused by the algae, disadvantage in competition, cannibalism, ineffective gathering techniques, such as when they use the nets to gather the fingerlings, they often tend to leave some behind, which result in their death, and uneven water temperatures.
So with all these factors, the entire business that Shehu has created is affected, and this includes stunted growth in fish so they don't reach their table size. The fingerlings can also be harmed during the gathering process, such as Isabella said, and also the disability to breed, because if they're not getting up to the table size, they're not going to breed well.
And all of these factors are going to lead to a loss in sales. If they don't have like enough fish to sell, then they're going to be losing money, and obviously this is a huge situation for them.
The solution we found was algicide. Now, algicide kills algae, the bad algae that's harmful to the fish, and bad bacteria as well. It regulates the acidity of the tank, so it regulates the pH in the tank, so it's not too much for the catfish. And it's better than alternatives for like copper chemicals.
And this is just an example of an algicide company, and it's pretty cheap. And this is like a 2.5 pound container, and that's a lot considering you only have to give small dosage.
And in addition to the algicide, you have to add natural bacteria. Although the algicide will balance out the pH levels and the oxygen levels, they have to completely eradicate the dead algae. So you're going to put it in with the dead algae in order to dissolve it. And not only does it regulate the levels, but it also provides essential vitamins that will grow and increase the fish faster. And that's an example of it. And with the results from this, we will see a massive amount of improvement in the amount of fish they're going to be able to sell and get to the table side quicker. And since the fungal infection is completely eradicated due to this, they're going to have enough to make more brood stock and fingerlings.
So the second solution that we developed was the development of a nursery tank. And the way that we're going to do this is we are going to convert one of their rubber tanks, which they don't really use, into this nursery tank, which would be focused on developing fish from hatchlings to fingerlings. And so converting a rubber tank is much better than buying a new one because obviously with funding being an issue with Shehu's business, we want to be as viable and as feasible as possible. In addition, with the use of a wood cover, we are going to regulate the temperature because, as you may or may not know, many hatchlings have to be in a certain degrees, which is here 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. And so when they're in that temperature, they can grow fairly. And finally, this tank will have a clear view of the fish, so when they're ready to be collected, there will be no mistakes and there will be no chance of any fingerlings being harmed because of ineffective gathering methods. And those are what the fingerlings look like, just to give you an idea. So our solutions are viable, and this is why I think our solutions are best, because they are viable. Our solutions start immediate action. If our solutions are implemented, we will get these Nigerians to work immediately. We are putting them to work on solutions that will fix the problems that they have. In addition, these solutions will show clear and immediate results. Obviously, the fungal infection and all the factors listed before are big problems. Now, by segregating the hatchlings with the larger fish, we are pretty much dissolving that problem.
So our plans for the future of using our solution is that the long term, in the long run, that the population of catfish will increase a lot, and that the mortality rates will decrease.
And it will also build a stable foundation for the Beersheba Fish Farm success. We care about Shehu, and we understand that he cares about this business. So we understand that he's very wary of using the chemicals in this tank. And so we're going to have a test run with the nursery tank and hatchlings with the algicide. Thank you.
So, Ahmed, do you want to go first?
Sure. I like that you were able to make the connection between the problem and how it impacts sales. Obviously that's a key piece of this. That's important. One of the things that I had a question on was the example that you provided with the box, I think your first solution. One of the things that I think you should continue to do is really try to tailor the solutions to resources that are more readily available locally. It's difficult to get, when you start thinking of solutions, really think what is it within that particular environment, or at least close to the environment, that could be a solution. And there are alternative solutions to a lot of the products that we have here that we can find on Amazon or eBay or some of these other areas. So look deeper into those types of local solutions as opposed to solutions that you can just purchase.
Yes, but you can buy these products on Amazon and you can ship them over here. And he's been losing money because he has to continually buy medication for the fish. So this is a one-time thing. It's like you put it in your tank. Since it's 2.5 pounds, it's a lot considering the fact that you only need 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons for the big pond and only half a tablespoon for the tank. So this is going to last for like an extremely long time, which will eradicate the fungal infection.
So Khalifa will have to bring the container back.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. The quick question, how much, did you find out how much money he would save or earn extra if the fish didn't have a bacterial infection?
Well, since they have stunted growth, it's obvious that a lot of fish aren't making it to the table side, and the fungal infection, they're losing more than around 25 to 50% of their sales and their fish population just by this fungal infection alone. So if we eradicate that, then we'll see an increased amount of profits.
So in a year they would make more than $180. It's going to take $180 to ship it there, but they would make more than $180 the first year.
Yes.
They'd be profitable.
Making it viable. Okay, I just want to confirm it was a viable solution. It definitely sounds like it's a viable solution.
Yes.
Great. Sarah?
I guess my concern is probably still that it definitely sounds like a viable solution. I just he's got to put forth what does amount to a good deal of money and do a test run, and he's gonna have to pay for the cost of that. And so it just seems like he would really be taking a big risk. What if it didn't work? What if he wasn't happy with it? He would have made a purchase that's.
Okay.
You want to say something?
Yeah, say something.
Well, on Monday, we heard Marshall speak, and he spoke of taking risks. So,
I'm the ground.
All right.
Yeah.
So we really focus in on this risk, and we even talked to Shehu about the risk, and his response is he's pretty conservative towards the idea, but we told him, and we affirmed the fact that the medications that he's buying on pretty much a weekly to daily basis are not working. So why not just eliminate the problem with one fund than continuously funding medications that simply won't work?
And we brought up other ideas such as the filtration system, and he says that the water is already filtered, and so we thought of the idea of trying to completely get rid of the fungal infection, and that's when he kind of was like more open to it. It was like, yeah, because if that happened, it'd be such a significant impact to his company and his business.
And you'd be willing to put in the time that because it would definitely takes time for trust to develop, and again, that's something that he's really conservative about. So I guess it'd be important to make sure that you could put in the time to developing that relationship.
So
awesome presentation.
Thank you.
So I definitely like the presentation. You guys did a great job. I like that you guys defended yourselves too. Like you believe in your idea. That means a lot. You do. And the fact that you believe in your idea and you want it to happen, that's half the battle, because people that don't take no for an answer, the people take a yes eventually. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely researched it, and when you found certain ways it didn't work out, you kept looking for a new solution for him. And I know he appreciated that because he told me. So I definitely liked what you guys did. I like where your guys are going with this. And I'm very excited to hear what he has to say about it when we present it to him over the weekend. So nice job. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
He's a state responsible too.
Yeah,
Unless you're too worried about what he's gonna say.
But few people have already preempted me, but whatever. What I really like about the solution he brought is that natural solution is going to work very well in that community. And I know if it works well for him, he would definitely going to transfer that solution to other people that have funds. So the other one, I just have to say something about what Ahmed says, because if you are providing solution to a local people, you should be mindful of what is really available there. If not, that solution could be a big problem for them again. So I think if they can have that, that would go a long way to help them growing the fish, increasing their profit, and also having more customers attracted to their business. Because I know this is the real problem that they do have. Usually bring the problem of growing fish, bring more mortality to the fish, and many a time customers don't patronize those that have not good sized fish. So if they can solve that problem, I'm sure that will grow their business very fast. So that is very, very, do you want to say something?
Finishing them off.
It is a wonderful presentation. You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
So I would like to bring up the topic of what Ahmed and Khalifa said about like look for what's available and what just couldn't be bought on Amazon. And I would like to make the connection to his imported food. He used Coppin's food, which is imported from the United States.
Yes.
And that is also shipped from the United States to Nigeria. And to see how easily he can acquire that really reflects on how easily he can acquire something like this.
Yeah, that's right. Most of the feed they bought, they usually imported from either United States, Israel, or whatever. But people can only import what they think they will have market in it. Nobody asks the importers about those things you're talking about. So they usually import food for them, feed for them. They may not import the chemical for them. Get the point? But if they can import both the feed and the chemical, that will go a long way in solving the problem.
Good job.
Nice
guys.
job.
Join the Global Young Innovators Initiative. Transform the world. www.icantransformtheworld.org